Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is a fun day. I have been running a marathon for this project, and I have to say it's going to be an interesting one to talk about and to walk through, because we were able to do both a gut renovation, major gut, removing walls, and working with the client to do some wonderful interiors. And starting with this, we have Ferro and Ball, beautiful wallpaper, and we did a stark 50-50 wool and probably nylon, but it was hand cut and made here in the apartment because of this awkward entrance, which you can see. And we had a nightmare. Took the drop ceiling down. Should have insisted that the client, and I won't do that again. If we have wavy walls, and these were wavy walls, it really screws up the wallpaper, and you can't get it to install the way you'd like it. So the things that I see are imperfect. I hope the client won't see. A Bungalow 5 cute little console with glass. They sent us with the wrong hardware, so we'll replace all that. Great lighting selections, and I think the fun part about this whole project is that the client was so much fun to work with, and it's really great to work with a couple that's planning, for family and future. And this one was interesting. They found me through the architect that works with their family in Maryland, and I'm excited to meet them when they come for the holidays to see this huge transformation. What we actually had was a closet here, and the whole apartment was just a mishmash of beams that weren't equal, and rules about how you should have basically a soffit that prevents smoke coming out of kitchens. This was a kitchen wall here, tile in the kitchen. It basically was pretty ugly, even though in its time, maybe 30 years ago, it might have been considered interesting. The biggest challenge for us was trying to level the floors. So we had to replace all of the kitchen floor. When we ripped up the floor, we found gas pipes, we found electric pipes. I mean, we just found a nightmare that I hope I never have to go through again, because it's overwhelming. The built-ins that we were trying to do to really finish the home in a way that I know they'll love forever was a challenge for all of us. We were just like, wow. And the biggest thing about the way they live is that they're great. They're cooks. They really enjoy and have family entertainment needs, and we had a challenge with where were we going to put the dining room table. And once we removed the walls, we'll have a 42-inch circular table here that's extendable. This it worked. It's tight, but it worked. And we love the fact that we integrated this quartzite product. This is real quartz. Stone quartz, which is just magnificent, comes from Brazil. My custom cabinetry and design of the kitchen. All of the wiring for the internet had to come with soffits that we pull across the living room and centralized up here so that everything's tied in to the bedrooms. And all of that wiring is running across these soffits and drop ceilings, and we pulled these rooms up in the sense of going up higher so that we have the character of this 9'4" ceiling pre-war. Bottom line is that millwork and logistics today is really hard. I think we're probably a good 3 weeks delayed just because of what's happening with we have a polyester spray from our fabricator, and the hardening agents are just not the same as they used to be, and they have to struggle with how they're going to get new ones or different ones. But circle lighting for our chandeliers here, all new crown moldings. We have not finished. We're going to come back with epoxy and fill the crown at the ceiling. But a Frankie sink. We have great appliances here. We're still not done. They're coming back as soon as we finish the video to add more to the kitchen. But the fun part of this is a touch latch refrigerator, Miele. And another nightmare, if you live like we have in this building, in buildings where they don't have wide enough doors, the door was 30 inches, 30 and 7/8. We couldn't get the refrigerator in. They had to take the doors off. We had to take the doors off the front door. we had to, in our custom furniture, we had to, and we'll tell that story later in another room, but we had to basically break everything apart and put it back together, and it was a nightmare. I had to find a different white glove delivery company that understood how to do that. But what happens is once you open this door, if you leave it open for a while, it'll close while we're talking and shooting this video, which was just like, we were like, wow, look at that. You can't leave the refrigerator door open anymore. Yay, Mila. So we have there, this is a convection oven. We didn't do steam. We had problems with oh my God, the building, never-ending problems with the building architect. But we did our Hefla LED undercabinet lighting. We have a Miele dishwasher. We have the panel to put on this with all the hardware going on today. And we did a double garbage rollout, which is nice in terms of it, instead of the wire pullouts that you see from Richelieu and those rubber shelf products. And then we added all the things that you would want for organizing the drawers with inserts. There's a knife drawer. There's lots of detail here, and cutlery drawers. On the other side of the kitchen, we have enough space for them to, store their tableware, because those are all cabinets facing the outside, with a big pantry, and I'm sure more of their glasses for the bar. The Sub-Zero under-counter refrige is the bane of my existence. It's not coming in underneath that dry bar till, I guess, I don't know, in December. They keep moving. They keep moving my dates. It's like, okay, don't know when it is. We had changing windows, because we had an air conditioner under the counter, and we have to remake this panel because the millwork people didn't follow my design, so they now have to change it. This panel has to be removable so we can remove the filter of the air conditioner. And if they ever have to take this thing out, we'll have to take the range out. It's on an anti-tip bracket in the back, but it's a gas range. We'll have to take it out, disconnect it, move it over for them to do that. But I don't think this air conditioner is going anywhere for 20 years. We had to redo the window. We had problems with oh my God, everything is a nightmare. So what would normally take however many weeks became double, and we couldn't get an answer on that. And we couldn't really finalize how the soffit would be built until we could get the hood up. The hood, this is a commercial hood. It's 1100 CFM, which I'll tell you, I'll never do it again unless it's in a restaurant, because you really don't need that level of exhaust, even for the cooking you would do in an apartment, because this is not a restaurant. But what happened when we did that is that the current code says that they're worried about air, the quality of air, so we had to have an air intake. And that's what this is. And there's a sensor that has to be added. So what happens is there's a damper in there that opens and closes when it senses that the hood comes on. So it's bringing fresh air in for when you're taking air out with that level of a hood exhaust. But it's really a pretty complex kitchen, and definitely a chef's kitchen. We have all of my doors with the LED lighting, but there's all of the millwork guys' stuff, because they're going to come back and finish this up today and Monday. So my compromise was I clean it up for photos, and we'll come back and we'll cut in the kinds of things we want to see. Well, let's take a look here. We're going over to the living room now. This was fun because we were able to do the interior design and planning. So when I do that, I work with my clients to lay this out, and I'm talking about inches, as you can see, between the hearth. I changed the fireplace around and hearth. They have to do some work on the stone, the brick inside, which Flutech is the company we work with that'll do that with them. All my custom built-ins that hid all of the junk that's behind here, which was uneven. We decided to put the lighting on a soffit that we needed anyway, because it just is I just think it looks nicer. It's nicer than if it was on actually the bookcase itself. This is an Odegaard. I think it's wonderful in terms of their color selection. It's just all of their favorite colors, and all the colors I think work well together. They chose Baker to do a sectional, and this was really hard. We actually had to take, thank you to Dr. Sofa, we had to take the whole thing apart. And I was so stressed out because they only had 2 hours to get it finished. And that's where we were yesterday at 3 o'clock. Oh my God, are we gonna finish it, are we gonna finish it? So basically, they took this arm and back off, and they had to really put it all back together again, and it's attached, you know, with the Z clamps underneath there. The trick to these things, if you don't know about it, is you have to always detach one side of it. You can't move this together or you'll break the clip that's underneath because it's just plastic. Here we have our, these are the wired treatments, Hunter Douglas. Added a cornice with the fabric that we selected just based on the rooms. And these are the new blinds that have both a window darkening shade on the other side of it and the regular shade, the silhouette, which is like a plantation that folds, but as it goes up. But I love the way it feels. This is facing south, so they have tremendous light. We added basically a third bedroom here because besides the lighting and all the other stuff that had to be addressed, we really had a tight, you know, when you think about it, but it feels good, space. So we wanted to add this third room office convertible to a den, well, really not a den, but to a bedroom by adding our 6 foot pocket doors. These are privacy doors. And they're privacy because what happens is when you close this door, you can lock it. It'll lock it. Then that's what, this is a blank on this side. But it's a great solution, I think, to converting this into a 3-bedroom because we have the light and air, we have beautiful southern light, so we don't really want to have this closed. And during the day, you know, on a sunny day and even on a cloudy day, it's just spectacular. Love, again, we did new through-the-wall air conditioners. That has a PTAC, which is both actually a dry heat and air conditioner in the living room in the existing, which is not great. But we copied some of the detail from the existing with my built-in design that matches the living room. And then we did a wood top that matches the finish of this instead of stone because that's what's in the other room, so that there's consistency. These are the original baseboards, but we ripped them out and made new. Custom made the base, and a beautiful Philip Jeffries mural. The room and board sofa bed, I'm gonna kill the client actually. It's so heavy, when deconstructed, they had to, of course, put it back together, and this whole room, as of yesterday, was closed, covered in plastic. Millwork guys are cutting. Everybody's mad at me, of course, because we're under deadline and we're late, and we have to keep going. So we had done the wallpaper in advance, and what we didn't know, which I just love, the indigo for this, and this sofa bed, my God, it weighs 350 pounds because the mechanical bed, you know, is attached to the back. So it literally was on its side. We had to tie the springs together so they wouldn't open up. And we literally did turned it over, put it down, turned it over, because we couldn't lift it. It was just insane. And this was my client's responsibility, but I knew they just wouldn't be able to figure it out. So problem solved, but drama, nothing like drama. So let's go see the back side of the house.